Sidney Powell, the maverick of a lawyer who said that the election was stolen and that she was going to get to the bottom of all of these, Dominion and some, Symantec or whatever, the voting booths and all of that crap. For throwing this election, she said, we're going to get to the bottom of this. We're going to release the Kraken, because she had evidence that billions were spent and that millions of votes were stolen. Meanwhile, Ron Johnson out in Wisconsin yesterday, I don't know if you caught what Ron Johnson said, who was one of the people that thought the election was stolen, came out and said, it's quite simple. Turns out that the reason that Trump lost is not because there was fraud or there was election stealing, is that 51,000 Republicans in Wisconsin did not vote for Trump, and they voted for other people, he said. When asked whether or not there was fraud, he said there's no evidence of that. He said simply 51,000 Republicans decided not to vote for Trump this time. That's why he lost. Paul Ryan, former Speaker of the House, came out and said the same thing just yesterday. So Sidney Powell, of course, is now facing massive lawsuits for what she was spreading, disinformation. She's also fighting all sorts of legal challenges and issues now from courts that are basically saying she needs to go and get trained as a lawyer again, because no one should waste a judge's time like this. Well, a journalist who, it was interesting to read the people who are used to these journalists. They're like, oh yeah, we love this. She's an excellent journalist. She asks straightforward questions based on fact. She doesn't get in the way of facts. We know her very well. She's an excellent journalist. And she's asking straight facts about Sidney Powell. Sidney Powell gets up and walks out and storms out of an interview when she's asked straight facts by this journalist. Watch.
Let's get a few simple facts straight. In how many states were Smartmatic machines and software used in the 2020 election?
I don't even know the exact numbers.
But you were making some big statements, very dramatic, critical statements about Smartmatic. You must have known what their involvement was in the election.
Oh, you'd have to go look at our complaint with respect to the 4 states that we filed legal complaints in to get the details of that.
A Google search would have shown you that Smartmatic was operating in one single county in California.
Well, I'm saying I think their involvement's probably a lot bigger than that.
What research or fact-checking did you do at the time to find out what Smartmatic's actual involvement in the election was?
Do you work for Smartmatic?
What kind of an idiot answer is that? I'm just asking, you would have simply known that they only operated in one county. How does that make you an employee of Smartmatic? Do you work for Smartmatic?
That's like if you were asking me questions like, did you eat McDonald's today? Yeah. Do you know that, they got this new burger with the cheese and all this other sauce or something on? And I'm like, yeah, I didn't know that. Yeah, you should. They got really good fried. Like, dude, do you work for McDonald's? What the hell?
Do you work for McDonald's? Hey, Clayton, I just got a new Pink Floyd album. It's really, really good. Yeah, I think you should go listen to it. It's a live album. And, oh yeah, should I? Do you work for Pink Floyd? It's like something a kid says, right? Like,
yeah.
Oh, you like that? You like that iPad so much? Why don't you marry it?
You get those shoes off the rack?
You've made an allegation against Smartmatic that they stole a presidential election. I think it's incumbent on both of us to know what Smartmatic's involvement was. It seems like a pretty foundational fact.
I mean, I'm confused right now about why you're here.
Because you made a series of very strong allegations against Smartmatic and against Dominion, containing many errors of fact. Do you accept the fact now that the company that you accused of stealing a national election only operated in one county in LA in California? One county, one state.
No, I'm not prepared to accept that fact. I think Smartmatic's involvement was far more significant than that. Do I think they're trying to minimize their involvement? Of course I do.
You said that Smartmatic owns Dominion. How do you justify such a basic factual error?
I'm going to stop this interview. It's wholly inappropriate in the litigation that we're in.
But we're not even in the area of great dispute. These are the simple facts of who owns what.
No, we're done.
Oh, I love
I'm sorry.
These are facts.
When we are in litigation against me personally,
I understand that, but we're
billions.
Yes,
of dollars.
I understand that these are very serious allegations.
Thank you very much.
But why did she feel she had to sit that pillow on the table?
Like, here's my little cradle pillow. This is how I sit up so right.
Yeah. Can you get this back to the My Pillow guy, please?
Yeah, can you get this back to Mike Lindell? It's been under my ass. This is my ass pillow.
That man is such a saint.
This is how I keep from talking out of my ass with this ass pillow. Here is my ass pillow.
This interview. It's wholly inappropriate
It's
in
wholly-
the litigation that we're in.
It's wholly.
We're not.
I'm sorry, just ask you a question. Were you aware at the time that Dominion did not own Smartmatic? I mean, that was a pretty easy error. You could have avoided that. Are you that dumb? Well, I can't talk about that.
Even in the area of great dispute, these are the simple facts
No.
of who owns what.
No, these are not simple facts. Facts are these your facts? Or are these my facts? Because I got a whole lot of other facts. You want to come down and meet me at the Four Seasons Landscaping? I'll show you where I keep my facts.
No, we're done.
We're done. Here's my ass pillow. Take that back. Here's my ass pillow.
Yeah, what's like? Was that a statement? Is that a nervous twitch? Like what the heck is that? Like,
anybody want this now that I've sat on it? Let me get my cherry Coke.
Sorry.
These are facts.
Oh, she's drinking Diet Coke.
Dr. Pepper?
Diet Dr. Pepper. Diet Dr. Pepper. It's a breakfast of champions right there. Got my ass pillow and my Diet Dr. Pepper.
When we are in litigation against me personally,
I understand that, but
for
we're
billions
yes,
of dollars.
I understand that these are very
Yeah, we're being sued for billions because I said a lot of stupid stuff that I had to use to cover up on my ass pillow. Oh man.
yeah, when I'm in litigation over billions of dollars, I don't need you asking me hard questions. Okay.
And your facts, even though they're rooted in facts, are different than what I've heard. I'm not prepared to accept those facts. Oh man.
That is a nice light they were using though. That's an Aperture 120D. That's a nice light.
very serious allegations.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Nothing makes sense.
That's right, Judge.
Do
Exactly.
you think she really meant thank you?
Thank you very much. I appreciate your comments. I appreciate your questions. I get all of my facts right from Mr. Trump himself. So, me and Rudy, we were working together. That's how we got all of our facts right from Mr. Trump. So, you want to question him? Go right ahead. Be my guest. But I've got to go
Nothing but
fight
the
billions
facts,
of
man.
dollars in lawsuits. I mean, you know what's sad? To be honest with you, I mean, she's a nut job, right? She and Rudy Giuliani. They're the only two people in this entire, hey, the election was a fraud, blah, 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 which has been totally disproven, that have suffered from this, like being disbarred in New York. She's facing billions in lawsuits as a result of it. These two, like, that's it. None of these other people that were on the Senate floor, House floor, making accusations, now they've all come out and they're like, no, he won. He won legitimately. Like even Ron Johnson, who literally wasted time on the House floor, on the Senate floor, saying that this was that there was problems, it was stolen, and he comes out and he says, "No, there's no evidence of that." Okay, I guess nothing to see here. Just move on. No one else has to, just move on. Thanks for putting us through all that crap. Thanks for trying to convince all these people. Okay.
Yeah, when they set this interview up, they didn't tell me you'd be asking me questions. They said you were gonna praise me and tell me how good of a job I'm doing.
Yeah. What? I mean, do you not do? By the way, clearly she doesn't do her homework on anything, right? She didn't do her homework on the election. She didn't know what the hell she was talking about at all. Clearly, she didn't know any of that. And she sits down with like a world-class journalist and doesn't do her homework on who she's sitting down with. That'd be like sitting down with like Mike Wallace from 60 Minutes and not knowing who Mike Wallace is.
Well, you know why that is, right? Because that was a foreign interviewer. They were probably, so they're like thinking they're going to sit down with a U.S. media person who gives them softball questions. They probably think,
Right.
wow, I've done this media circuit and they're so nice. They only ask me the questions that I approve and all this other stuff. And then they go sit down with a real journalist and they're like, oh, what is this? Whoa, real journalism. No. I didn't sign up for this.
Yeah, I didn't know we were going to get real questions here.
In one single county in California.
Well, I'm saying I think their involvement's probably a lot bigger than that.
I think. but I have no facts on that. I think that. Like, I think Lucky Charms are good for me, right?
Yeah. I think this Diet Dr. Pepper is good for me. Like it's better than
I
the
see
regular.
the commercials. I see the commercials where the little guy is singing, on the Diet Dr. Pepper, like the sweet life. And I'm like, oh, that, I see that commercial for Diet Dr. Pepper, and that's clearly going to reduce my waist size. Like, if I just eat that, I have a Diet Dr. Pepper, like, that's how I lose weight. Diet Dr. Pepper, right? Just filled with chemicals. Like, that'll help me, right? I feel like it will. I don't know. Facts associated with it.
Research or fact-checking did you do at the time to find out what Smartmatic's actual involvement in the election was?
Do you work for Smartmatic?
I got you with that zinger, didn't I? Look at her face. I got you.
She should have said, "At least I don't work for Trump."
Right. Like, no, I don't. Yeah. Like, I love this little, like, side swagger, little heads. Thanks to my ass pillow that I'm sitting on, I was able to give that extra little chicken neck move. Watch.
That was her gotcha comment. You work for Smartmatic? Huh? Do you?
You work?
Punk?
I'm sitting here like the queen. Do you work for Smartmatic?
Well, I'm saying I think their involvement's probably a lot bigger than that.
What research or fact-checking did you do at the time to find out what Smartmatic's actual involvement in the election was?
Do you work for Smartmatic?
Zing. Oh, you got her.
You've made an allegation against Smartmatic that they stole a presidential election. I think it's incumbent on both of us to know what Smartmatic's...
Oh, I'm sorry. You're going to continue with this line of questioning. I thought I got you with my zinger.
Her face looked like a comedian that tells a joke and gets no laughs.
Right, like Rodney Dangerfield. Or no, what was his name on... it wasn't Rodney that used to do that, was it? We're like, is this thing, like what Johnny Carson be like, is this thing on? Is this on? Okay, just checking. Just want to make sure this is on. My little zinger, it didn't really go over so well. Went over like a fart in church. If I do fart, I fart on this ass pillow that I got from Mike Lindell. So you can't smell it.
I think that's why she grabbed it, because she probably brings that with her to all her interviews.
It's made of charcoal, so you can't smell my farts.
Yeah. Is it okay if I bring my pillow in here?
involvement was? It seems like a pretty foundational fact.
I mean, I'm confused right now about why you're here.
I thought this was a place. I thought this was the green room where I come to get Diet Dr. Peppers. Like, I didn't know anyone was going to even be in here when I came in here to get my Diet Dr. Pepper. But you just started asking me questions, and I didn't see all these lights and cameras. I don't know why I'm even here.
Yeah. Like, wait a minute. You don't know why I'm here? Like, you agreed to this. Like, when you walked in, I was here. You brought in your Dr. Pillow or your Dr. Pepper and your ass pillow. Like, you sat down willingly. You faced me. We put makeup on you. Were you like? What do you mean, why I'm here?
Why else would anyone want to talk to Sidney Powell? Like, we want to know, what is it like to be a stellar lawyer? Like, that's not the interview. The interview is, how are you so dumb? That's the interview.
Because you made a series of very strong allegations against Smartmatic and against Dominion, containing many errors of fact. Do you accept the fact now that the company that you accused of stealing a national election only operated in one county, in LA, in California? One county, one state.
No, I'm not prepared to accept that fact. I think Smartmatic's involvement was far more significant than that. Do I think they're trying to minimize their involvement? Of course I do.
You said that Smartmatic owns Dominion. How do you justify such a basic factual error?
I'm going to stop this interview.
Yeah, I mean, you're just throwing too many facts at me. And I haven't even finished my Diet Dr. Pepper yet. So my brain is not even ready to go when you start throwing facts at me.
My ass pillow's slipping out of the back of this chair over here. I just...
Do you have any diet soft batch cookies? Because those have no calories. Do you have any of those too? Do you have any... do you have any of those Olean chips? You know, where it doesn't even, like, the fat doesn't even stick to your body. It goes right out your butt.
What agency is this interview through? Do you know? It's not 60 Minutes, is it? It says 4 up there. What is that?
No, I think she's Australian. I think she's an Australian
okay.
journalist. Yeah.
That's like if you watch, it's funny if you watch the Australian 60 Minutes versus the US 60 Minutes, the Australian 60 Minutes is much more hard-hitting journalism.
Yeah.
It's so amazing how we just don't get journalism in this country.
No, we got people like her.
Nothing makes sense.
Exactly, Judge. That's it. But it's funny. It's like I saw the Australian respondents or comments were like, we know like she's an excellent journalist. Like we know that when you're up against her, she's not going to spew opinion. She's going to give you facts. Like that's what she does.
Well, and she's going to do her research too. She's not going to talk out of her ass. She's going to do her research so that she doesn't end up perpetuating the same thing. So that's what a journalist does. A journalist will do their research, have their facts ready to ask these people questions. But that doesn't happen here in this country because they're already given the questions. They're like, okay, here's the questions you can ask Mr. Sanders. Because like Bernie Sanders went on Kyle and friends and would not talk to Kyle. They said in the thing, we will not talk to Kyle. We only want to talk to Crystal. So they come in with their demands and then they're like, okay, here you go. Here's the questions we're going to ask you. We won't ask you anything hard because if you ask them anything hard, they just get up and leave.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, we can't. No. Here's our terms of the interview. Here's what we will do. You cannot ask me about my. You cannot ask me about the 2020 election.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Why do we want to have Sidney Powell on the show? She said explicitly we can't talk about the 2020 election. Okay. Yeah, that's not going to happen. I want to see her get her pillow.
It's wholly inappropriate in the litigation that we're in.
But we're not even in the area of great dispute. These are the simple facts of who owns what.
No, we're done.
Here's my charcoal butt pillow. You take that now. You take my charcoal butt pillow.
I am taking my pillow and I am taking my Dr. Pepper and I am leaving.
Taking my
Sorry.
These are facts.
taking my diet Dr. Pepper.
These questions are wholly inappropriate.
I've got some more weight to lose. I need more diet Dr. Peppers. And if you get me those Olean chips, they kind of make you poop. Where the fat doesn't even stick to you. It goes right out your butt. Right into my charcoal pillow. Get that for me.
All right, you want to do super chats?
Sure. And by the way, Trump hired her. Like, that's what I love too. Is like,
really?
oh man.
If I interviewed her, there's no way I would have hired her. That I would have, you know what I mean? Like she just doesn't look like she'd like, I don't know.
I would rather rather hire Grover to do my litigating. You know, like he would smell a rat coming. You know what I mean? He'd smell a rat coming, and he'd be like, "Oh, I'm going. Where's pizza?"
I think they're actually more. They know people better. But look at this. I too have a butt pillow.
You have a butt pillow?
I do. I'm not sitting on it right now, but I have one.
What's great about that butt pillow it also doubles as a neck pillow when you're on an airplane.
Yes. If I had a really skinny neck. Like, I don't think this would even... Oh, I guess it...
Yeah. Hey, that's Sidney Powell's butt pillow. It's great. Oh, man. Thanks for subscribing to the channel. You can also become a channel member by going to morninginvest.com/join, where you can stick it to the mainstream media and support independent journalism. We're able to bring you the stories that you won't see on any of the major billionaire-backed networks. Thanks so much. We'll see you next time, everyone.